We're back! We're not doing that anymore, man. Oh well, you've got your pillow, so that's good. Now we're about the same height.
Yeah, thanks, man. This is really good. We're all having fun, yeah?
Yeah, heaps of fun. Oh, anyway, guys, welcome to our next video. We are Ozhouse, and I'm Zale. And this is Simon.
Alright, I hope you enjoyed our last episode of our Volkswagen Nationals. We've got a bit of a treat for you in the next couple of episodes. We're going to take a bit of story time. Yep,
we're gonna... I'm Simon again, and this is Zale.
No, so we're going to look at some of our past and present projects. What really got us into Volkswagens and all that sort of stuff. Sort of going back 10 years or so. So in this episode you're going to see some of my stuff. And yeah, let's get into it. Alrighty, 2007. I was 16 on my L's, still in school.
Year 10?
Year 10. Talked mum and dad into buying my first car. Yeah, so I decided I wanted a Beetle. Uncle Bruce went and looked at a couple of cars for me. Most of them were a bit rusty, a bit hard to find. One that was actually good until we ran into this one. White 1974. What I thought was an L-Bug at the time, a Super Beetle, but nah, it turned out to be a 1300. It did have a 1600 engine in it though. Uncle Bruce painted it for me. Put a lot of hours into that. Yeah, so I drove it around like that for a bit. Typical school kid, wanted to get some sick tunes happening. So I built this sub box to put in the back, two 10-inch subs in the back. So that was good when I was lapping the streets of Wagga.
Down the main street.
Yeah.
Booming Stezar.
Yeah, so after the novelty of the sick bass died off, I decided to try and go a bit faster than the probably 30 horsepower wheels it had. Me and a mate started pulling out the engine and planning on what we were going to do. I purchased a long block from Rod Penrose, and it was a 1915cc, so it was a big bore stock stroke. Yeah, and I just bought some twin Weber DCNs for it, an exhaust, just all the fancy bits on it. Started putting that together. Sent the gearbox up to Dave Butler in Queensland. He was well, he probably still is, I'm not sure. He was the gearbox guru of the time. He's into drag racing. I think he's still doing it. He's got a crazy quick, like NA drag Beetle. Yeah, and it was good just to, you know, it was just something for us and the boys to do when we were bored. Yeah, finally got that running for the first time. Yeah, man.
Go for it, bro.
Yeah, so that was pretty exciting. Yeah, Mum was always concerned that it was going to be too fast for me, or I wasn't going to be able to control it.
And Simon has to go slow till you run it in.
But I was a pretty responsible driver. So I held on to that for a couple of years. The novelty of that sort of wore off and I wanted something quicker. Okay, so fast forward to 2010, still on my green peas. Thought it'd be a good idea to get a loan to get something a bit newer, a bit more reliable, because the Beetle was pretty shit for reliability. I can't remember who told me about borers, but I thought they were pretty cool. They're a 2.8 litre V6 or VR6. four motion, so all-wheel drive, 6-speed manual. So I started looking around for one of those. I really like the white ones. Unfortunately, that meant they were one of the rarest colours that we got in Australia. So a bit of time looking for the right one. Finally tracked down a good one in Sydney. There was a deal there, so sight unseen, we went up there with a bank check, and purchased it that day. It's a pretty quick car.
Quicker than the Beetle.
Yeah, well, the Beetle wasn't that slow, but yeah, it was. I think they do 7 seconds 0 to 100, so it's pretty quick for a P plater, probably too quick for a P plater. Yeah, so that was supposed to be my reliable daily, so I wasn't supposed to touch that, but you all know how it goes. Yeah,
that never works.
Yeah, no, not
Never
at all.
works.
So yeah, the reliable daily got a set of coilovers not long after purchasing it. Yeah, it wasn't long before I started purchasing wheels for it. So the first set of wheels was a set of BBS Impulse. Yeah, they were pretty rare in themselves. I think they were one of 2 sets at the time in Australia. So I tracked them down in Perth and got them sent over. It was around this time that I actually met Zale on Tinder. Watercooled, which was
on Volkswagen Watercooled on a forum.
Yeah.
Definitely not a dating app.
For some of you younger kids, before Facebook, we used to go on all the forums. That was
I'm
the
a
place
younger kid. I still look 12.
except for that dirty mode.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but the forums used to be the place to go for all your sort of car talk and everything. Yeah, back before all the Facebook groups. Yeah, so I kept playing with it. I did the car. Did adjustable rear control arms to fix some of the camber. When you lower the car, it naturally cambers in a lot, and so the alignment's pretty shit.
That's because they've got IRS, so unlike the old Mighty Mark III in the Beam.
Yeah, did the arms, did a Haldex, which is the computer that controls the four-wheel drive. Did a new computer for that, so it sends more power to the rear. And yeah, I just drove that round responsibly. So I went through a couple more sets of wheels, went through Mark IV R32 Aristos. We only got 200 of the R32s in Australia, so that was pretty rare to get some of those wheels. Not that they're anything special. But
Oh, they look good, and you powder coated them white to match the car, and they look really good on it.
yeah. So did some BMW X5 wheels, which I powder coated in charcoal in 2012, and I took it to Day of the Volkswagen in Melbourne that year, and actually picked up Best Mark III/Mark IV, which is pretty good.
There's a lot of cars at Day of the Volkswagen, and it's
the
really
biggest
good show.
I think is it the biggest one in Australia, or is Nationals bigger?
Well, they all claim to be the biggest.
Yeah.
But yeah, Day of the Volkswagen Melbourne's pretty massive.
So I was pretty stoked about that. That was my first trophy. First of many. Like I get a lot of trophies. I'm pretty.
Yeah, real big trophy hunter over here. Goes to the shows for the trophies, not the people. You know how it is.
Yeah, but once again, I got sick of the power, so wanted something a bit quicker. We toyed around a bit with turbocharging, supercharging, just something to up the power a bit. I thought I'd give turbocharging a try. I mean, how hard could it be? Just something quick and easy, you know, something cheap.
Very, very simple.
Yeah, yeah. So I was gonna turbocharge it within a month. Just had a small budget. So I decided I was going to use a R32 engine. So that's a 3.2 litre instead of the 2.8 that it had in there. So I tracked down an engine. It had been advertised as needing a rebuild. Got that. It certainly needed a rebuild. It had obviously hydrolocked at some point. Bent rod, bent and cracked crankshaft. And I think the bores were bit munted as well, so we had to bore the engine a bit. So I went forged pistons, forged rods, yeah, ARP head studs. I had the full rotating assembly balanced and blueprinted. So the gearbox, R32s tend to have really short gears, which isn't really suited to turbo. I tracked down some TDI gears, so turbo diesel gears out of a 2-wheel drive Golf. They came from the UK, from my mate Michael there. So he sent over a gear set for that. I put that in with a Wave Track LSD in the front. So the gears are super long now, like second gear tops out at 120 k's an hour at 6,500 RPM or something. So it's just, yeah,
It's mental.
top speed of 320, not that I'd probably ever go there, but yeah, just super long gears, which is much better for driving with a turbo car. Yeah, so underneath the car I've got IDF tubular lower control arms, H&R front and rear sway bars, R32 front hubs and R32 brakes. Yeah, the plan was to make 400 horsepower at the wheels. So I tracked down a used turbo kit from the States that someone had put on an R32. It had a GT3582 Garrett turbo, just some log manifold which I had extrude honed, some junkyard looking downpipe that some hillbilly had welded together. It was a rip off, that kit. You live and learn. I should have just taken it to a fabricator straight up. That was just one of many problems I had with the build. Yeah, we won't go into that too much, but yeah, it hasn't been an easy process.
So as Simon had heaps of issues just with all sorts of little things really, like because the kit was from the States, their vehicles are left-hand drive, so they don't have the brake booster in the way. So everything kind of, it doesn't work as well as, you know, it does for them. Like everything has to be kind of custom made, so I guess learn a fair bit from that.
And this was 2013-ish, so no one had really done this in Australia. Like there'd been a turbo borer built in South Australia, but no one had really swapped an R32 engine and turboed it into a borer. Yes, I'm going to claim that, by the way. First turbo R32 borer in Australia.
But there was other issues with the fact that your borer was like early model, so the ignition wiring was different.
It didn't have individual coil packs like the R32 engine that we swapped in did. No VCT on the original engine, so that all had to be wired up. So yeah, Pete Davies at Volkwerk actually helped us with the build on that. He was a legend, and he was actually the first person who got it running for us. Yeah, a lot of help from different people went into this. We had Seb at Euro Automotive, Chris from Castle Hill Performance. You might have seen him on Mighty Car Mods. He's the fabricator there. He's fabricated up all the aluminium tubing and mounted the intercooler. So Liverpool Exhaust actually did the 3-inch exhaust and downpipe. They did a pretty good job there. So that was sort of stage one of the build, I guess you could call it. We ended up getting it tuned by E-tuners in Sydney. Yeah, so I made 300 kilo of the wheels. That was quick. And yeah, I drove that for a good 3 to 4 days before it blew up again. The turbo had destroyed itself. The manifold had cracked. So I just thought it was a good time to upgrade a few things. The intercooler was already too small, so that already needed upgrading anyway. I've employed the help of Chris from Castle Hill again. He's made up this tubular twin scroll V-band exhaust manifold for me out of Schedule 10 stainless steel tubing. Yeah, he did an awesome job there. Chris can weld. Yeah, so for the turbo, I've stuck with Garrett. I've gone with the GTX 3576. That's actually smaller than the old turbo, which is the GT 3582. It's got the 58mm compressor compared to the old 62mm. This new one's a billet wheel, so it still flows the same even though it's a smaller wheel, and it should spool quicker being smaller. I've gone twin scroll, so that should help with spool again, and also a bit of power because I've gone with a big housing than before. Should be interesting either way. I've kitted the rest of it out with the Turbo Smart catalogue. Yeah, so that sort of gets us up to date with the white borer. Stay tuned for further episodes on that. So while the reliable daily was off the road getting fiddled with, I sort of didn't have a car to drive around in. I was pretty smart in that way. Yeah, so Nationals 2013. We headed up there with the race car that we had built. And they had a raffle that year. That was the first year they would raffle off a car. It happened to be a 1999 V5 borer. As soon as we got there, we sort of all bought tickets.
Yeah, $5 each. Camden GTI was raffling off a car, and Simon, he of course, cocky bastard himself, said we walked straight up, bought 2 tickets, and he said I'll be driving home in a black borer today. And I was like, righto, and he continued to say that all day.
Yeah, so I won a borer. I was pretty stoked about that. Thanks to Camden GTI for that. Yeah, so I had a new reliable daily that I wasn't going to touch. So yeah, obviously a couple of weeks later I chucked some coilovers in it, slammed it on the BMW wheels that I had on the white car previously, and yeah, just drove that around for a while until I hit a ratchet on the way back from Sydney one early morning. That destroyed the gearbox, the subframe,
Control arms.
Yeah, it was just a lot of...
It was a mess.
Yeah,
absolute
gearbox
mess.
all over the highway. Yeah, sparks flying when I hit it. It was pretty... It woke me up anyway. I was probably half asleep at 3 AM travelling back to Wagga. Yeah,
on the way to a car show, mind you.
Car show
the next day.
That was for Vits. Yeah.
So once again, the mighty car show jumps in and ruins the party. Yep. Vits again, both times it's been Vits.
Oh
white borer and
white borer broke for Vits. Black borer broke for Vits, so must be cursed or something. Yeah, so fixed that up. Had a few sets of wheels on there, Aristos Q5 wheels, tri-spokes.
That was about it when it was static.
Yeah, and then we thought we'd try a hand at some airbags suspension. Zale had played a bit with some of his cars, but not really.
Yeah, kind of jumped in and out of it a bit, hadn't done the full setup before, so Simon had picked up a whole bunch of parts for the borer, and we just thought there was a car show coming up and we'd try and bag the car kind of in secret before the next show. So many late nights in the shed, we ran a little kind of donut tank thing in the spare wheel well, a couple of compressors, and it was actually a pretty tidy setup.
Yeah, fully hidden by a false floor in the back, so you couldn't see it when you opened the boot.
Heaps of Dynamat and rubber, and everything was mounted with rubber spacers so that it was as quiet as possible.
Yep. Yeah, so bagged borer for GAD in 2014, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. So ever since I ran the Impulse on the white borer, I had a sort of soft spot for them. They were a 2-piece originally. I thought I would build them into a 3-piece, so bigger lips and barrels. I got White Horse to build me some bigger lips and barrels, turned them into 17 by 10 in the front and 17 by 11 in the rear. As far as I'm aware, that's the first in Australia to do that on a Mark IV. So yeah, that was a bit of a challenge, getting the tyres on them.
Oh, and everything else.
And everything else.
Run camber shims in the back and special hubs in the front, special drive shafts.
Yeah, it had -5 degrees of camber all round just to fit them in. Stupid stretch on it, 205 45 on the 10s and 215 45 on the 11s. Yeah, took it to day of that year and won best Bora / Jetta. So another trophy under the belt.
Yeah.
So yeah, racking them up by that stage. 2, yeah. Yeah, then I found a set of Range Rover wheels on eBay for like $200 or $300, something cheap. I hadn't seen them on any car before, besides the Range Rover, obviously. Funny that.
Surprise!
So yeah, I thought I'd give that a go. 19 by 9 all round. I chucked them on and
got heaps of E-fame. Heaps of E-fame. Went
Yeah.
straight to his head. Got like 450 likes on some photo.
It was more than that, mate.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, America seemed to go crazy over that. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, and that's sort of it for the Black Bora. And then I ended up swapping it. Yeah, so our mate Anthony had a 3-door Mark II. And I just jokingly asked him whether he'd be keen on swapping for my Black Bora on bags. Yeah, funnily enough, he went for it. So had to say goodbye to the Bora, but I now had a 3-door Mark II Golf. If you haven't already seen some of our previous episodes, we've done a wide track conversion on that. So check them out. I'll put the links in the description. Yeah, didn't really do much to that besides that. I got a trophy for it. I don't really like to brag about this stuff though, but yeah, the viewers need to know how many.
They don't want to hear
like
you
trophy.
talking about all your trophies.
Just a lot of trophies.
He's got a cabinet. He got a specially designed cabinet made for all his trophies.
Cabinet or room?
Leather bound.
People know me, okay? Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed that little dive into my history. Make sure you stay tuned for our next episode in which we dive into Zale's chasm of history goodness.
That'll be fun. So
not that there's really any point. Like, you've seen my award-winning car, so I don't really know why you'd want to. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Anyway.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, but once again, got a bit. H&R front and rear. Front and rear. Yeah, so 300 kilowatt of the wheel. Yeah, funnily enough. Funnily enough.
Funnily enough.
Funnily enough.
Oh, we can do that.